In today's video, we will be making the most contentious cocktail in all of cocktail history, the Old Fashioned. We're going to make the drink, we're going to talk about its history, and stay tuned to the very end because we will be discussing the numerous variations you could have with this very simple classic cocktail. Hi everyone, I'm Chris from Bar Above. I'm a 15-year veteran of the bar and somebody that just loves making fun and creative cocktails. So we're going to make the Old Fashioned here in a second, but before we do, let's go ahead and discuss the history. And this is where the pitchforks will be coming out, so read the comments below for some entertainment. So the Old Fashioned dates all the way back to the 1700s when it was originally called the whiskey cocktail. Now back then, the word cocktail actually had a very specific meaning. It meant base spirit, bitters, water, and sugar. That's the template for the Old Fashioned. Now, if we were to fast forward about 50 years, we're in the first golden age of mixology, and bartenders are having a lot of creativity even around this already established classic cocktail. So in Jerry Thomas's book in 1862, we can see a very clear example of this when he outlines the improved whiskey cocktail utilizing Luxardo Maraschino or Cointreau in place of sweetener. So even then, people were feeling nostalgic for a cocktail back in the day, and so they would go up to the bar and ask for a whiskey cocktail made the old-fashioned way. Now, if you've ever been to a busy bar, you know that's a lot to say, so you can see how that could be abbreviated down to the old-fashioned. And that's what we're going to make today, a classic old-fashioned. So now let's go ahead and make a modern old-fashioned. So we're going to go ahead and start by using 2 ounces of rye whiskey. So we're just going to go ahead and add that right into our mixing glass here. Glug, glug, glug. Love that sound. Then we're going to add the sugar. I have Demerara, just to add a little bit of complexity, and I'm going to be adding a 1/4 ounce of it. And if you like yours a little bit sweeter, feel free to add up to about a 1/2 ounce, and that'll be a little bit more sweeter style old-fashioned. Next, we're going to go ahead and do 2 dashes of Angostura Bitters. And we're just going to go ahead and add ice and stir to dilute. This is where a lot of the water is coming from in the cocktail as well. So now that we were starting to see the glass kind of frost over, we know that's about ready because we're going to be adding ice to this glass as well. Use our Julep Strainer, and we're just going to go ahead and strain that right into our glass. And the garnish that we're going to do for this is going to be a orange peel. Just going to express the oils right across the top. Grab a pick. And a cherry. And there we have it. Classic old-fashioned. Thank you for sticking with us to the very end, and now we can go ahead and put our pitchforks down. Now it's time to talk about variations. And if we remember the definition of the word cocktail from earlier, it is base spirit, water, sugar, and bitters. If we follow that formula and just input new ingredients in there, it's probably going to turn out to be a pretty balanced cocktail. Now, one of the most popular variations of the Old Fashions happens to be the Oaxacan Old Fashioned. There we're using mezcal, tequila, and agave nectar. But if you want the most complicated or complex version of the Old Fashioned, you can make a Sazerac. There we're rinsing the glass with absinthe and using Peychaud's bitters in place of Angostura. Then you're going to have a little bit more of that cherry Twizzler kind of profile with that particular drink. So this is one of the reasons I love the Old Fashioned so much. It is so simple and it's so easy to make something very tasty just by changing out a couple of the ingredients. So I would love to hear your favorite version of the Old Fashioned in the comments below. So there we have it. We've made the Old Fashioned, talked about its history, and discussed some of the popular variations of this particular drink. Now, once you understand that formula or the format of the Old Fashioned, you can see why it's one of my favorite cocktails because it's so flexible. Now, we know you've watched videos like this in the past, and you know what we're going to ask. Hit the like, subscribe, and the bell icon, and you will get notified anytime we release cocktail videos similar to this one. Until then, I hope you guys are enjoying your favorite version of the Old Fashioned. Cheers.